No rush, just ripples.
Nobody ever just lets me just be Will, bro. Can I just be mother freaking Will?
Nobody ever
You
lets
Will, you
me
do this.
be
Will
with
you just be me mother freaking Will, dog?
speed.
Because everybody just it's always like I gotta,
Cause,
you gotta,
cause,
you
cause,
need to watch, you need to Will
hey,
do this. Like gosh, dog. I let y'all MS be y'all.
or
Let me be me. You know what I'm saying?
so you saying you stumped the grump because we're hindering your growth?
No, you're hindering me being me. That's what you're hindering. Right?
So
Like my
we're hindering your
growth.
height.
You're not hindering my height. First of all, God made me how I'm supposed to be. I am in perfect imagery of His eye. Is there stuff I need to work on? Yes, I can admit that. You know what I'm saying? I done put back on a little bit of weight. It's so good. You know, I'm about to retire, get back hell on my fitness
Well,
stuff. But
I don't think
that
that's
don't.
we weren't talking about
But
your weight. We was talking about your
anyways,
height. But
you know what? I don't. I don't really care because at the end of the day, I'm freaking. I'm gonna do me how I want to do it when I want to do it because I'm fucking me. And if I yes, I said the cuss word, okay? Because I am a sailor. All right, I'm a freaking. I come from generations of sailors. My great grandpa was a sailor. My grandpa was a sailor, and my uncle Bebo was a sailor, and my freaking uncle Kenny was a sailor. So can't help it, man. I'm trying. I'm trying not to cuss as much. Lord help me, please.
And on that
Anyways,
note,
Want you on your downfall. They will support you. They will pretend support you. It's about what you believe in this moment because this is about you. And Big Grump on the other end. Your boy Stump the Dangerous. Keep your head on a swivel. And let's just require a reaction. It's incumbent. There was one time like the guys didn't do something. I was going to snap on him. He's like, one, you just became the LPO.
welcome back to the best upcoming podcast there is. We got Stump the Grump over there going through growth and things like that and trying to be him and finding himself. And you got Big Grump already, always laid back and chill. Welcome to the Grumpy Gills Kickbacks, baby. How y'all
first of
doing this
all,
evening?
I'm not finding myself. I know the fuck I am. The problem is y'all don't like who the fuck I is. That's the problem.
You
I
said
start getting
I
out here.
is?
I said I is yes. I know what I said because I said it how I want to say it because I say it when I want to say it when I'm saying it. So there. Fuck. Fuck really pissed me the fuck off today, boy. Anyways, so last night we're talking about time. Finally got the time. I went to go see Gary Owen, prior U.S. Navy MA in the 99 and 2000s, baby. You know what I'm saying? But hilarious. If y'all get a chance to go see him, go see him. It was freaking me and the wife freaking laughed our butts off the whole time. And we didn't sit super close, which was cool as long as I could like see him and hear the jokes, but the whole time freaking rolling from the first act all the way to he came on. Well, he only had two openers, so from from the first opener to him coming on stage, pretty much gut belly roll laughing the whole time, man. So go see him. But yeah, in perspective of time, I had a good time last night. It was good. That was much needed. We haven't had good laughs like that in a long time. So I am gonna say this, man. Time heals all, no matter what you're going through in
Mm.
life. There is no, there isn't anything more valuable than time. And you can course correct your future by adjusting your time in your present. And people don't see that a lot of times. They're just so worried about what's going on in their future or what happened in their past that they can't focus on what's right in front of them in their present. And everybody's guilty of it. Maybe you haven't heard it in that term before, but it's the truth, man. Like, like, for me personally, right now, my time management could be better in the sense of like taking care of my health better and all that stuff. I have made the choice to because I am transitioning out of the military, I'm retiring to pick up a second job. So my time is limited now in certain aspects of things. Am I making an excuse? In a sense, yes and no. And what I mean by that is because at the end of the day, too, like I still need to get rest. Like my body needs rest. Like so I am meticulous on where I'm spending my time at because I do need to get rest at the end of the day. Even if it's for a few hours, I need to get some type of rest. So I do as much as I can when I can, but my schedule is pretty tight knit. I am limiting time with my family right now. That's the only thing I can say that is genuinely messing up my time. But what I'm doing right now is actually helping me out for my future. So, and it don't seem like it right when you're going through certain things, but right now I know that it's happening, and I'm okay with that. But never limit your personal time for other people's time because you might be losing out on little things that you need for yourself. But yeah, go ahead. What you got on it, Big Grump?
Time, time is the most valuable currency that we can have at any point in time, or anything in this day, right? That is the most valuable thing. Before money came around, there was bartering and trading, a form of currency. But with that came time, no matter what, no matter how you look at it. And you hear people constantly talk about this, especially in this day and age. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do that. Time is the most valuable thing because money you can always get back. Whatever form of currency of money that you do now, this day and age, you can always get that back no matter what. Able bodied, non-able bodied. There are so many remote jobs or things that you can do to get money. You just got to be willing sometime to do those things. And I'm talking about the legal things, not the illegal things, the legal
Right.
things.
We gonna
The
speak on that.
biggest thing when it comes down to time for me is, be it friendships, relationships, whatever you want to call them, associations, jobs, and stuff like that. That's the biggest thing you can't ever get back. No matter, oh yeah, I'm gonna sleep in extra. You're not making up time for extra sleep. That time's already been lost. You're just adding time somewhere else or trying to add time somewhere else where you can catch extra sleep and things of such. And mostly this topic was dealing with friendships or relationships or situationships. That's what this topic was mostly dealing about because you have to understand sometimes a lot of the things that you put time into aren't worth it. It doesn't matter how much money you spend on a relationship, a hobby, or a situationship. If you felt like it was worth it for you and it catered to you at that moment in time, then that's great. And you proceed with it and you push forward with it. But you can't look back on, you shouldn't look back on life with regrets if you did spend that time doing those things. Because if you didn't feel like it was a waste of time to do that hobby or to explore that dream, then learn from that lesson and push forward. Now, when it comes down to friendships, relationships, it's hard because when a lot of people, let's talk about friendships, for instance, a lot of people who have these long 20-year relationships that all of a sudden end due to a falling out or something happening, people look back on it and the first thing they say, I wasted my time, with Jim. We've been friends this long, and then all of a sudden, over one night, everything's just ruined. Okay, so during that time y'all were friends and during that long span of relationship, what signs were showing that you and Jim weren't going to make it? You and Jim weren't meant to be roots, but leaves, because everybody has their time in your life. Either they be at leaves or they be roots. Some people are meant to stay for a long haul, which that means that they're roots. And some people are meant to be leaves and just pass through the season. And a lot of time we can't tell the difference because people were there at specific moments in life that helped us through something. And it's like, oh yeah, we're going to be lifelong friends or we're going to be lifelong this. That doesn't always mean that. That means that those people had their time and their season in your life. And we just got to let that go sometimes. Sometimes we hold on to things longer than we should. And then when that gut punch finally happens, it hurts worse than anything that we could ever imagine. and then we're sitting there regretting, and we feel like, oh man, we wasted the time to do this, we wasted the time to do that, and we could have been doing something else. Because of the things and people we keep in our life, they mold the decisions that we make. They mold the paths that we take a lot of the time. When we should go left, we go right because, oh, this is how this person's gonna feel, or this will benefit more for the family versus yourself. A lot of the time, we gotta look at what we're doing with our time. That's how I feel about it for the most part.
No, you're not wrong. I'm just gonna say relationships in general, whether it be a situationship, whatever. So some relationships in general, you just have to reevaluate overall. Is it worth the time? And especially when you can see patterns in people that they're not willing to work on and change after you've prospectively told them that. Like, hey, like, dude, you like you always want to go out to the club every weekend, but then come, Monday or whatever, you ain't got no cash. Like it's a repeated cycle. And like some people, you know, with time heals all and comes growth and all this other things, but some people are so looped in timeless fantasies in their head that they can't even see what they're freaking doing. So,
Yeah.
something you have to, and if you're friends with that person or whatever, friends, whatever relationship, spouse, wife, whatever type of relationship you are with that person, you have to look at them and be like, all right, is this still continue work? Is this person really going to listen to me and take my advice and be like, you need to change for the better so we can continue to grow as, people or whatever. And it's hard to it's hard to let go of that person, especially when you know you have invested time in a sense that where you've put these gems in them, and it's possible that when you leave, you're not gonna get to see those gems. I think that's what the hardest thing is. People like, because you could be harping on one person and you finally hit your breaking point, and for them, their lesson learned was like, damn, I lost the best person in my life because I wasn't doing this. And then now you're with a whole nother person doing all the things that other person was trying to tell you to do and being a better version of you. And instead of doing it with the person that was trying to help you, you're now giving those seeds to somebody else because you finally figured it out. And it's kind of fucked up in a way because it's like at the end of the day, you want to nourish every relationship you got, right? In a sense, right? So when you have to sever because that person's still not realizing because you're just fed up, it's like, I think the hurt part for the person that's been seeding, it's like, dang, I know for a fact I'm not gonna get to see these gems grow. This person's really gonna change one day. I can't do it anymore. I don't know how long it's gonna take for this person to wake their ass up and get their life right. And I think that's the more hopeful part because you put that time
Yeah.
in and them seeds in with them. And for the other person, it's like, damn, they were always been for me there, and I just wasn't listening. So now, like, you know what I mean? So when I move, like, it's over, it's gonna hurt on both parties, but the other person that's probably gonna be more fruitful is the one that's finally like, I'm not losing the next one. You know what I'm saying? But in my eyes,
Yeah,
it's
and the
like
biggest. No,
in
go
my
ahead. My
eye,
bad.
oh, sorry, no, in my eyes, what I'm gonna say is really what should have happened is you should have you should have left your old self to become a better self for the person that you're with because they're already seeing you. I think people give up in that sense too. It's like something dramatic has to happen, obviously, to everybody for sometimes for them to wake up and be like, what the fuck am I doing? But sometimes it's like maybe that dramatic needs to happen within the relationship. Something needs to fucking gnarl that shit up to make each other person change and be like, I need to be a new person for you, for the person you were trying to be for me when I was in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's hard to see that level of relationships when especially when you're young minded, right? You're just like, fuck it, I'm living my life. I'm out here. You know what I mean? But when you get older, it's like, I'm not even giving this person a shot to let them see the better version of me. Let me try. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you ultimately make the best decision that's for you after you've tried, and you could be like, you know what? I'm over it. I gotta go. So
Yeah. And where I see people mostly get mad is, oh, well, I spent all this, I did this for you. it's not about the money that was spent. It's not about the things that were done. It was the things that you can't get back, which is time. Time is one of those things you can't get back because you got to think about it. All the time that you poured into someone, trying to help them be better, and or even trying to get with them. This is the thing where we make mistakes at. Everything isn't meant for us. Like you said, it is one of those things where we pour into somebody that we're hoping that, hey, even as a friend or even to be in a relationship, that, hey, we're going to see dividends come from it. We're going to see them, succeed. But the problem is, once again, it goes to that leaf and root theory. We might be there for a season for them, which leaves come and go. And we'll have to watch it from afar, or we might not get to see it at all. Or we might get lucky enough and be a root and be there the whole time through the whole process to get it. And that's where, for most people, the time pays off because they feel like, oh, yeah, I can be a root for this person. But in us trying to be a root for a person that we're probably not meant to be a root for, we enable them and enable their growth because we're always there when they fall or they stumble or when they need something. And then vice versa, they're not there for us. So eventually over time, you become resentful of certain people and certain things and certain places because you've wasted your time in that person, especially when you've changed, you went left instead of right, or right versus left, or hey, I could have took this over here, but I chose this because I figured it was going to work out, and it doesn't always pan out. But that's
Yeah.
one of those things where we got to be mindful for ourselves and how we spend our time and realize this. I told you this. One of my friends said this before. She was going through a relationship and trying to figure out hey, do I want this relationship? How does this relationship going to work? How are we going to proceed? And she prayed about it. And she said this simple prayer, which blew my mind. And I know it's going to seem crazy when I say this. She said, please, God, show me a sign that I would understand to understand if this is meant for me or is not meant for me. And that's where we mess up sometimes in our prayers. We're not specific of, hey, show me a sign. And you'll see a sign and we'll be like, oh, let's keep moving forward. When literally there's a sign there. But she literally said this specific prayer, show me a sign that I would understand to either proceed forward or to stop and move on. And that's what we all need to do in our life instead of constantly wasting our time. You said this one thing I don't agree with. Time heals all. Time doesn't heal a lot of wounds or even wounds at all together. Yes, can you get over it with time? But also look at it like this. At one specific moment in time, something can reopen that wound at any point in time and cause an issue with you. Because at the end of the day, the way I look at it as, yes, we are human. We are meant to heal, and eventually we will heal. Will it be as bad as it was in the beginning? No, it won't. It won't. But we will always remember, we will always relive that moment from time to time again, no matter what, because our minds are funny things. It's a tricky place. Because you remember, you ever watched Tyler Perry's movie Acrimony?
No.
So if you watch it, you should watch it. It's a great movie to me. It's a great movie to me, in my opinion. It talks about what we're talking about today. It has Taraji P. Henson, and she's going through an issue with a guy from when she was a teenager and all the way up into her late 30s, early 40s, where her and this guy were going back and forth, on again, off again, and they finally got on when they got married. He had this great idea, and she supported him with her mom's money that she inherited. And where he felt that he wouldn't get a side job because his focus was on this invention, and he knew this invention would work. And so everything was falling apart around him, the marriage, the house, things that we talk about as men that you should be taking care of, you should be taking care of home. And he wasn't really taking care of home. He was more focused on this invention because he knew that this invention would work, and he was right. But also too, she had other factors that were going on outside of her. Her sisters were going at her, telling her, "Oh yeah, he's not a real man. He's not doing this. He's not trying to do that. He's trying to cheat on you. He's doing all this stuff." And they eventually ended up getting divorced and going their separate ways. And she started getting better. He started getting better. He found someone who pushed his idea, and he became this multi-millionaire, right? This almost overnight success. And even though they had their falling out and their issues and things, he came back
He bought
and
her mama house, right? Or some stuff like that.
he rebought the house, gave it to
Yeah,
her,
okay, I
and
remember
then
watching. Yeah. Yeah.
and then on top of that, gave her millions of dollars. And she was like, "Oh, you're trying to get back with me." He's like, "No, this is what I felt like I owed you because you poured into me for so many years and I didn't pour back. This is what I'm giving you because you deserve this." And fast forward, goes home, sisters are still not happy. He's like, "Oh, girl, you missed out on a good man." The same sisters who were literally telling her to leave this man, but it drove her to a crazy extent to where she wasn't happy that she got the money. She wasn't happy that she got her mom's house back. She was mad. Once again, that festering wound was she spent all this time and went through all this trauma with this man. So she believed she deserved all the things that came with it, not just the money, the fame, the celebrity, the penthouse, and all the extra other things that came with it. And she ended up eventually dying at the end of the movie, and a lot of other things. But once again, it's a great movie to go watch because it talks about time and time spent on people and things that you go through when you feel like you've wasted your time or you don't get to see the fruits of your labor a lot of the time. And that's the other thing with parents. You don't get to see the fruits of your labor a lot of the time when you're growing up and putting efforts into sports or whatever for yourself. So you try to push your kids into doing the same thing instead of letting your kids live their own life and do the things that they want to.
No, that's true. I'm glad you disagree with that. I'm still sold on like time heals all. Like it's just a general statement, right? Do I believe that wounds and stuff will be opened and reopened and you'll have to revisit those traumatizing moments and memories? Yeah, eventually that wound eventually shrinks, right? Because statistically proven, you know, you'll drive past something where you had a tragic accident, like, and that might be so traumatizing for you, but eventually it's like that flashback gets smaller and smaller and smaller because over the years it's like, okay, I've already lived past that. So it's the same thing with anything in instances. That's why I say like, time heals all. It's just a general statement to saying that like in time it will heal. How long it takes in time, that does vary based on that person's tragic experience or trauma on whatever that situation was, relationship. But in the sense that like, fruits of the labor and getting what people not getting to see it. Sometimes you do get to see it. And when it does feel good to be like, okay, at least I know that like we didn't work out well, right? Or I didn't parent out well, but I can see Junior or I can see he or she is doing good in life now. And I do know that part of that is because, I did embed something and it finally clicked, right? So it's the same thing with us too, like, with junior sailors. Sometimes, you know, you don't think, you'll have a junior sailor underneath your lead and you'll be like, oh man, Joey Schmuckatelli ain't gonna be he's not gonna be nothing. Then a few years later, you're like, you're fucking first, you're a chief, you're an officer, like what? So And they're like, yeah, man, hey, Chief, fucking, I appreciate you, man. Like, if I would have, did this, and I know you've had those situations, so it's like, and that's what I'm saying, and time heals all. Time also heals the people that you didn't think were gonna. It heals your brain too, because then you're like, damn, I thought you wasn't gonna be shit. Look at you now, my boy. Look at you. Look at you now. So I'm proud of you, So but overall, yeah, I think in any relationship, whatever, you do have to evaluate it. Even the ones that's been familiar with you for years, you have to evaluate it at all times. Is it still worth it? Like, I'm gonna end on this note. My mom says you have friends who you go with, and some friends you don't. And luckily, I'm fortunate enough that even reevaluating, I have some solid friends. I don't have a big circle. I never, in high school it was pretty big circle, but now like I can name all off all my friends that I know I can call and count on and reach out to and talk to, and we check on each other. And I'm cool with that. I don't need a bunch of people to validate me. I already validate myself anyway. You know what I'm saying? So on in sense of due time and everything, just make sure. Well, I'm gonna say this: there is no perfect timing, but there is the right timing, and it's up to you to see it when your right timing is, right? And sometimes you just have to start, whether it's I start the new version of me, I start, I'm gonna relieve this, relationship because it's abusive, whatever. Like, you just have to freaking do it sometimes, because the longer you take, the worse the time is gonna get, right? And that's even
Yeah.
in your head trying to do something positive. Like, I've been talking about, this for years and I still haven't done it. So when are you going to do it? Because you keep wasting time technically if you keep telling yourself you're going to do it and you don't. So, well, no, I don't got nothing else. You, Big Grump?
Yeah, the biggest things, as I already stated, time is the most important thing to you. It will be the most important currency in your life and what you believe in. And you have to pick and choose who you truly want to give that time to, right? A lot of things, and you have to be decisive and understand what things work for you. Your intuition will tell you, your body will be your biggest warning or your biggest alarm. Let's put it like that. Your biggest alarm, they either tell you to go forward or not go forward. There's a difference between fear, and there's a difference between, like, hey, this is a warning of telling you to stop. Fear for us, for people, is, hey, I've never done this before, so I'm afraid to fail. Fail. It's better to fail than not to experience it.
Bro.
But your body will tell you if you don't need to do something. It's like watching a scary movie. You hear a noise in the woods and it's the middle of the night, and you want to proceed, and your body's telling you, don't do that. You should listen to that. You should listen to that. But
Uh,
if it's something like you practice for this and you're about to go do a recital in front of, you're about to go play the piano or sing in front of a bunch of people, and your body's like, hey, it's giving you a warning, that's because you're afraid, because you don't want to fail. No, go do it. Go play the piano. Miss that note. But this is what you practice for. This is what you put the time in for. This is what you did that for. Right? Understand the difference between discernment. Like, hey, look, we should go try this skydiving thing with friends. They're telling you, and you're like, I'm afraid of heights. I'm afraid to do this. Cool. That's something you should go do. When your friend like, hey, look, let's go get in the car and go rob this bank. That's something you shouldn't go do. You should listen to that's not a good idea. It's not a good idea.
hey man, with these
But
gas prices though, I might.
but realizing that your time is the most valuable thing that you have in life. It's not money. It's and people say that it's like, oh well, you don't understand because rich people say that. Even rich people say that time is your most valuable thing, and they maximize their time. If you maximize your time and utilize it, guess what? It turns into a form of currency that people will be willing to pay you for. or barter for to spend time with you. There are people out here till this that are a celebrity that people are willing to go stand in line for and waste their time to go buy Jordans, waste their time to go stand in line to get into this club to see this person, waste their time to get in line to get into this concert. Just imagine it. Just imagine if you use that time for yourself. And I'm not saying, hey, don't go have fun, don't go do these things, don't go make these experiences and have these things in life. But if you're willing to spend time to go stand in line to see somebody else sing or perform, why aren't you willing to spend that time on yourself to figure out what your talent is, to figure out if this relationship is really going to work, or to figure out if what you're feeling is okay? That's what I'm talking about. When people say they don't have enough time in the day and you find out most of the things that they've done haven't been beneficial to themselves, but been beneficial to other people, think about that, right? Think about when you say, oh man, I don't have enough time in the day. What did you do today? What did you do for yourself today? Always try to do something for yourself. Always try to take a minute to an hour for yourself to pour into yourself. Because if you don't pour into yourself, no one else will probably be willing to pour into you. Or somebody might take the time out of their time and pour into you because they see something, excuse me, they see something in you that no one else sees. They see something that you don't see in yourself. Always remember that. Take time to pour into yourself. If you're willing to pour and try to say you're selfless or being selfless and pouring to everyone else, sometimes you have to be selfish to pour into yourself to see who is willing to pour into you. Because the time you take back, when you take back your time and take it to yourself, you'll realize who will be like, oh, well, you're being selfish. Those same people you were there pouring time into time and time again and being there for, let's see if they return the favor and be there for you. Always take care of self. Remember that? Always take care of self, right? Everybody else will come. You have to spend this time and take care of yourself. Because if you don't, then it'll suck when you get to a certain age and realize that you spent the time on other people when you could have spent some of that time on yourself, even 5 minutes a day or an hour to take out to get to do the things that you want. That hurts. That doesn't mean you don't have any time now to do the things that you want, but that means that, hey, when you look back on it, it's just gonna hurt more when that wound opens up. It's like, man, I spent all these years with this person doing this when in reality they weren't trying to help me. In reality, they were just using me to push themselves. Because you hear the stories too, when all of a sudden people make it big, the phone number changes. All that time we've been friends, all that time I was pushing you forward and trying to make it great. But then once again, remember this. We're not always supposed to be in people's lives. Some of us are roots, some of us are leaves. There's a season and a reason for everything. And sometimes you gotta let some of that stuff go. And that's why I think when most relationships end for people, it's not the fact that they spent money, it's not the fact that they brought gifts, it's not the fact that they did this, this, and that. It's the fact that they spent all that time with this person, and that's time that they can't ever get back for themselves. But guess what? That's when you gotta be strict with your time when it comes to other people. All right. So
Yes, sir.
with that being said, hey, once again, love y'all. Keep supporting, love the support, keep showing out. We see y'all, they see us, we see you. Me see me, I see me. Stump the Grump is getting taller.